I'm Certified Nerd, and today I'm joined by
Trench for listening to.
We're going to be going over comparisons of 1969 Marine Riflemen and 1969 Army Riflemen. So we'll start with Marines.
Alright, so first thing I want to say, I was in 60 gunner, so I got the first aid, the pistol pouch and the holster, so I should have either no pouches or even 56 ammo pouches on that, so oops. But I'll start off with right here. So first up, you got the M1 helmet. The Marines pretty much got the same helmet as the Army, same liner and everything, but you do see the black inner tube bands. Army did not get these. They had like green ones, like what do you call it? Like
Which one right
just
there?
the cloth helmet bands. Cloth helmet band. So you just got the black on it. And then for your uniform, the primary one you see this time is Ertl. These were faced in like 68. So before 68, it's just the green, second pattern, third pattern, different fatigues, but in 69 is primarily the ERDL. And you can see with the pants and jacket. And then we got the M55. These were pretty much used by Marines. Main flag fist in 69. You see a few third patterns, few first patterns, but primarily just the second patterns right now. This one was said 67, but they made them from like 67 all the way to like 1983. For gear, you always had to have a gas mask bag. It was required in 68 because they used tear gas, so you always need to be protected. So these protection kits. And then right here we got the basic web setup.
Yeah, this is a family-friendly channel. I'm kidding. No, it's not.
I wonder if they call it a jacket because like,
Shut up.
So, bro, be quiet. So we got 3 canteens right here. We got 2 first patterns and 1 second pattern with the nylon trim. I don't know where my canteen went. We got the M8 A1 bayonet and a pistol belt. You use the M56 and the M61 pistol belts. Then we got the jungle first aid kit, and that's the lip setup. And then we got this M16, basic M16. One thing I want to add, you do see some of the World War II, like Korean War shoulder covers, as surplus used on the M41 haversack because it doesn't have like the little hooks like the lightweight or your belt might have, so you have to use the hook on the back to attach right here. You see the M41 haversack early war all the way to late war, and then you also see the lightweight rucksack and the Arvin ruck. And yeah, this is pretty much the basic Marine rifle.
The Army is a little different. Starting off, we got still OD green jungle fatigues. The Army really didn't adopt the ERDL until a little later, and they never really officially adopted it. They kind of just used it, but you really only seen it being used by recon platoons, LRP teams, and special units in the Army. Most guys are still going to have the OG 107 third pattern jungle fatigues. I just have some of my personal items here, a lot of Chihuahua bags to do water protection. Do 1st Infantry Division. One thing that you don't see on Marine stuff is patches. The Marine, for some reason, they never put their division patches on their uniforms. Army did though, so we have 1st Infantry Division, and then I have, since we do 128, we have the scarf with the Black Lions patch on it. And then we have pants, which have the litter. And then I'm wearing my Army belt right now, but it would be on my trousers. Marines also had their own belts. They didn't have an Army belt. They still use like the World War II style.
Yeah,
belts.
old style World War II.
Yeah. Boots are the same. He's wearing his. I have mine here. But third pattern jungle boots, Vibram sole.
Come on, show 'em again.
Thing for both branches at the time. We got socks, shirt. I got a towel there with just some personal effects. Got a Bible, a little M16 manual, some utensils, sewing kit, sunscreen, little hygiene kit. And here's the helmet. Army helmet's a little different. In 69, you'll probably start seeing more of the later war liners, which have more orange tint to the liner. This is I think it's a P65 liner, so the earlier style. We have the Army helmet band, which is the green strap. This one is technically post-war, but it works. I have the cat eyes hidden with the chin straps in the back, and I just have some bug juice on it. You could also see nothing or a lot. Graffiti was also pretty common at this time, but we don't want to put graffiti on original covers. We have an Army cap. The Marines had their own 8-point. The 8-point was used a lot more than the Army cap was. This thing's kind of dog crap. So the Army really started adopting boonie hats. M65 for cold weather and for rain. Yep, no M65 pants. You never really see them wear the M65 trousers. They kind of just keep their jackets. And then the web setup is a good amount different. Some Army units, like airborne, start adopting more of a Marine style where it's like less stuff. Kind of just the essentials, so water and ammo.
More of what you need, not what you don't.
Yeah, so they get rid of the ammo pouches and just use a bunch of bandoliers. But most Army units, like the grunts, are still going to have a standard setup, and they start going away from that by 69 and going to 70. So a standard setup of 2 56 ammo pouches with grenades on them. For first ID guys, you actually see a lot of guys have 2 first aid pouches. One on their suspenders facing downwards for easy access, and one on their belts, either on the ammo pouch or on the belt itself. We have 2 canteens with original canteens in them, and one has an original cup. They do, I think it's the 65 cup. I have a second pattern, 2-tone, and a first pattern. And then I have my Bowie knife here, which is just a personal defense knife. Most Army guys are still going to be standardized with the bayonet, but they started getting a little more lenient as time went on. And then I just have one bandolier. You don't really see Army guys have a whole lot of bandoliers, depending on what they're doing.
Yeah. Side note, with bandoliers, you'd also see people packing Claymore bags with ammo
I was gonna
and
say that.
water and all sorts of yummy goodness.
I'm not doing the Army flag. The Army did have a flak vest, but you're not going to see that for most Army units. The only time you're going to see that mainly is for mechanized infantry and if they're
Guard
in urban
units.
combat, but a lot of times they're in urban combats, they don't even have the flags.
Yeah, or guard
Um,
units.
Yeah. Lightweight rucksack, which the Army has had since the beginning of the war. Pretty basic setup. They kind of stick to the standards, but I mean, it's all mission oriented. So yeah.
And one thing from the ad, certified history here is supposed to be certified history, so why is there Dr. Pepper from 2000?
Bro, why did you put that there?
Is it
Get that out of here.
mine now? No.
Then the M16, this is technically, was it the XM16E1?
Yep, XM16E1.
Yeah. You actually would most likely see just the actual M16 or M16A1 for the Army this time, but I mean...
M16A1 was M16 was trash, that's why they switched to the A1.
Yeah, the A1 just was some better improvements, which did make the M16 a lot better. But yeah, the A1 was adopted in 67. Yeah, so you're going to start seeing it a lot more. I haven't...
The A1?
Yeah.
69.
Was it 60? I'm pretty sure it was 67.
Pretty sure. It's 69.
Yeah.
Because that's when they started fielding out those.
Or maybe it was 68, I can't remember. I don't know.
That was 68 or 69, I remember.
Anyways,
It was weirdly late for a gun that they weren't using.
I'm pretty sure it was...
Weren't using.
I don't know. Anyways, I have an external cleaning kit for the M16. Most of them are going to have the stock cleaning kit, but what I'm going to eventually have, hopefully, is a XM177E1, which you start seeing a lot with squad leaders and radio men in the Army. Later on in the war, it was used by special forces, but then they wanted to add a grenade launcher or underbarrel grenade launcher to it, so they made the E2, and so they started issuing E1s to the Army guys.
The A1 was issued in 67.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, it was 67.
Did you just search it up?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
67, yeah.
What am I thinking of?
We have a mess tin, which you're not really going to see a lot. Most guys just ate their rations out of the C-Rat boxes, but you know, we don't.
Or the actual C-Rats itself.
Yeah, so. Then we have an Army shovel. It's the M56 shovel with the M51 entrenching tool, which is like the M43, but it has a pick on it. This is a 60 dated cover with a 67 dated shovel. And then the pick is right here, as you can see, and you can move those independently. And then the cool thing about the 56 is you can actually attach your bayonet on here, so that's fun. Anyways, get over here. What you doing? Anyways, that's about it. Thank y'all for watching. See you next time.